Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce, my name is Fitra Ramadhani from class Big A. Here I will explain the result of my observation at SMPN 4 Palopo, which is how my observation explain the teacher's mistakes in teaching. So, from the result, I see the teachers who teaches in class during teaching hours he doesn't pay too much attention to his student when teaching his mistake. That is, when he explains he doesn't pay attention to students who are noisy or tell stories behind him. He's just busy explaining in phone but doesn't pay attention to his students to whether he pays attention to him when explained or not. Okay, the first, from the result of the video documentation, I got the teachers' teaching mistakes in this video, namely the teachers didn't arrange the way they sat properly, where the children must have found it difficult to pay attention to the teachers explaining. The second, the students also pay less attention to the teachers when explaining because the teachers is not strict in teaching and does not rebuke the students so that the students pay less attention to him. The third, what I saw from the students was that there were some students in the class who didn't know how to read and how to write the letters that he saw. It was because the teachers didn't pay enough attention to his students in teaching, so that some of his students still didn't know how to read. The fourth, here are some students that I teach and explain the reading that he wrote on the blackboard by the teachers, and it turns out that the student still doesn't know the letters that he sees, maybe because he pays less attention to the teachers when explaining and plays too much when the teachers explains. The last, the documentation that I got was a teacher's error that I saw in teachings, namely 1. The teacher is less assertive in teaching. 2. The teacher doesn't pay much attention to his students in explaining so that many of his students steal the stories or play around. 3. The teachers did not give an example of how the students sat correctly so that many of the students sat with their back and did not pay attention to it when explaining. 4. The teachers did not reprimand his student when explaining because there were still many students who did not pay attention to him when explaining. Maybe that's all I can explain from the observation of my documentation. The following are the results of my documentation in the form of video and photo, and I close by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.